4 a.m. in New York, but it's 10 a.m. in Europe, and that's why I'm awake right now. I actually love the jet lag when I come to America because it pushes me to go to sleep early and wake up early, which is a natural booster of my ideal working routine. I've had the impulse of going out for a walk to kind of freshen up, breathe some clean, crispy air of the morning, but then I soon realized that I cannot do it here. Or better, it's not very safe to go out at 4 in the morning. Here in Manhattan, there's not many people around. I know that they say New York is the city that never sleeps, but believe me, people do sleep here too. And until 6 in the morning, there's not really much going on the streets, so it wouldn't be very safe to go out by myself. And it's exactly the same in any city in Italy, or more or less any city. But I actually come from a very small town where there's not much going on, in the sense that there is not much crime going on as well, so I wouldn't have much problems going out for a walk during the night. It's pretty chilly today here in New York City. It's about 0 degrees Celsius, of course. I have to say, I've been missing the cold in the winter, because in the northeast of Italy, where I come from, since a few years there are no winters anymore. Basically, the temperature is so much warmer, and it used to be about 2-3 degrees Celsius warmer than New York City, but now it's something like 10 degrees warmer. And this is part of the reason why climate change is not very noticeable for me in New York City as it is in Europe in general, especially in the north of Europe, in the north of Italy, close to the Alps and on the Alps, because the temperatures have become so much warmer than they used to be up to 10 to 15 years ago, and it rains much less, which city people are happy about. But if you have any connection with the farming world, like I have, my grandpa and grandma were subsistence farmer, I think that's how you call it in English, you know that this is not a very good sign for the environment in general. Yeah, this is something that I actually like living in New York City, because I can still experience the cold winter, which in Italy it's impossible. I've been visiting my family in Italy for over a month, and I realized that I've probably never eaten eggs. Maybe once or twice. One time my dad made a frittata, I remember that. Other times I don't remember, to be honest, and this is a big difference in habits between Americans and Italians. Americans eat so much eggs, and even when you go buy them, you see immediately how much eggs they eat, because they are mostly sold in dozen, so in box with 12 eggs. In Italy they are commonly sold in 6. Also, fun fact, we eat eggs usually for dinner or for lunch, never for breakfast. It's really not a thing in Italy. As you might know, breakfast in Italy is sweet, exclusively sweet. The average Italian doesn't conceive eating any savory food for breakfast, which is, now that I got used to being international, it's ridiculous. Sorry to all Italians watching, our breakfast is ridiculous. And also the cost is quite different. I only get organic eggs. Doesn't cost $5 to $7, $8 here in New York City. If they are not organic, even $3 for a dozen of eggs. Or I remember when I first came to New York City, you could go to Chinatown and get a dozen for $1.99. In Italy, as far as I remember, I haven't lived in Italy for a while, so prices might have changed, but it was €3.50 for a box of 6 organic eggs. By the way, this is sauerkraut that I make at home. If you eat a lot of meat, it's highly recommended to eat 1 or 2 tablespoons of fermented food each day to help your gut bacteria keep things working fine down there. And especially if you, like me, suffer of irritable bowel syndrome, I take some fermented food every day, even just as a supplement to my diet. Plus, this batch that I made turned out delicious. I get plenty of sunlight here during the winters. It's amazing, but right now it's 26.1 degrees Celsius. The heating is on. It keeps going on the entire day. You might think, why is the thermostat of your apartment not working? Why are you not turning off the heating? I cannot control my heating. I cannot lower it. I cannot turn it off. The thermostat is for the whole building. The people who have sunlight all day get their apartment much more heated than the people who live on the other side of the building, of course, yet the heating is exactly the same. And this is another difference between New York City, at least, and Italy, although I could say the entire European Union, because we have very strict laws, energetic laws. The average temperature during the winter in this apartment is 25 degrees Celsius. And very often I have to actually open the window because otherwise it gets too hot. I start sweating. In Italy, the average temperature kept in the houses is 20 degrees Celsius or 68 Fahrenheit. Many people I know keep it much lower than that. 19 degrees, 18, some people even 15 or 16 degrees. Rarely you can find places with 22 degrees Celsius, but let's say that in general, there is a very conscious use of the heating in the houses. I was like, Sunday afternoon, we have no fruits or veggies at home. We are going to our local farmers market right now to get some produce.
We should have left earlier.
Big failure. It's already closed. Should have closed in 1 hour or even more. what Turkish there is about these baths?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
What's a Turkish bath?
It's a hammam, I think. I think what they mean is to be a hammam, but yeah. It's Russian baths.
What do we put in the crepes tonight?
Ooh, I don't know. Onions and cheese.
Did you find it? Let's see.
Sheep cheese, feta.
Okay, let's get it.
Let's get this. Sheep milk feta.
Okay, like it.
Although it's pink, but we still like it.
Hey!
Spices?
We don't need spices, we have them at home. These things I don't understand. See, they're kind of supplements. Just eat fresh food. You don't need supplements if you eat fresh food. Because the farmers market was already closed, we ended up going to this small, all organic little neighborhood shop where everything is super expensive. But we just got a few essentials for tonight. By the way, I showed you a little bit of the prices around there. Keep in mind that those are not average prices for Manhattan. They're a bit higher. Compared to a normal supermarket, I would say they were at least 10-20% higher. Nonetheless, I would like to know how they compare to the country where you come from or the place where you come from, because even in the same country it depends on the area and whether you live in the city or outside of the city. But for example, I would love if you let me know how much organic eggs cost where you come from. That would be interesting to compare, so drop a comment down below. Let me know also the country where you come from, don't forget that. Okay, here it's 5:30 in the afternoon, but I'm starting to feel the jet lag, and I think by 7 o'clock, right after dinner, I'm gonna be in bed. So for now, that's all. Good night, everyone.